At what point did the internet turn from nice to mean? When it became available for public use. The internet was never nice, but people got super soft. When Facebook took over, the internet is nicer now than it's ever been before. When was it nice? When the hell was the internet nice? It was never nice. When a certain someone ran for president in 2016 and won. When I started using it, January 1st, 1983. More people. Anonymity. Not enough moderation. I just try to be on the better side of that line. Gotta make an effort for balance. Boohoo. When corporations started forcing viral content. I have a theory. The internet has split our personality into two. 1. Real world, in which we wear a mask and pretend to be good and nice. 2. Online world, in which we take off the mask and due to added anonymity everyone is a mean little wanker. From now on all companies have to be renamed to reflect the worst of their practices. What company are you picking? What's their worst offense and what's your creative new name for them? Company Twitter. New name X because it's toxic. Can't see that happening, though. Company DuPont. Offense contaminating clear water in multiple states, especially in New Jersey. New name Do Cancer. Nestle went everything wrong. Facebook, for its privacy breaches and data manipulation, shall be renamed Face Crook. Nestle, slave masters. To be fair, the list of Nestle crimes is quite long, but I feel that one would make people possibly change their mind about their products. Especially if their logo was also changed to show a picture of the abuse. The new Chinese teenagers abused phone 14CX looks amazing. McDonald's McQuay support genocide. Starbucks supporting Genoist with your bucks. What comes up when you Google yourself? Some random guy named Kyle on a LinkedIn name is not Kyle. There is a soccer football player who is named exactly like me. That explains why delivery men look at me funny when they read my name on packages. An obituary for my older brother, a guy who went missing in Warren County, Pennsylvania, and is a cold case. Nothing about me. That's how I prefer it too. Another person with the exact same name that isn't me. Giggity. Dictionary. Definitions from Oxford Languages. Learn more. Pronoun. 1. Used to refer to the person being addressed as the object of a verb or preposition when they are also the subject of the clause. Help yourselves. Boys. 2. You personally used to emphasize the person being addressed. You're going to have to do it yourself. FBI's most wanted list matches a well-regarded whiskey. A murder of a 17-year-old in 2013. What cool thing did you discover that you are absolutely sure you discovered first before anyone else in history? This anthill in my backyard. I genuinely thought I discovered the art of not caring about what people think. Then I found out it's called confidence, and boy, it has been around for a while. America. I was looking for somewhere else though. A cave. I was a bored teen living in a field, so I crawled into a groundhog hole and found it connected to a small limestone cave with some neat formations. There is zero record of the cave that I could find anywhere, and I highly doubt anyone before me crawled into the groundhog hole, which was the only entrance that I could find. I'm sure there was more caves under the property, as we'd occasionally get big sinkholes in the field that could be up to 50 feet across and at least 20 feet deep. What did you think was a weird quirk you had that turned out to be a symptom of a mental physical health issue? Repeating words in my head since I was a child. Then one day I went to the ER and I was extremely anxious and the doctor gave me an anti-anxiety pill and I noticed that ended the repetitive thought and words. I would let all my friends feel the ball in my boob in high school. One day I told my mom, she immediately called the doctor. Fast forward the next month and I had surgery to remove a tumor. It ended up being benign. I didn't like eating as a very young kid. I was underweight and anemic. Turns out my tonsils were huge and once they got removed, I could eat. What do you think is the male gaze and the female gaze? The male gaze refers to the point of view of an observer, often a man, viewing something or someone through a lens that objectifies or sexualizes. Similarly, the female gaze is the point of view of an observer, often a woman, evaluating objects beyond their physicality, taking into account emotional and intellectual aspects. Male gaze something that's done usually by women to mostly attract heterosexual men, for example how women are portrayed in movies and 99 of lesbian porn. Female gaze something that's done usually by men to attract mostly women, for example dressing classy artsy, often being more feminine-ish, but most people don't pay attention to the female gaze. Sofia Coppola is sometimes used as an example of a woman subverting the male gaze in her films. I don't know, but I love looking at two hot female gays getting it on. What food that gets a lot of hate for no reason even though it tastes good? Never respond with pineapple pizza. Tofu. If it tastes like crap, it's either because it's crap tofu or you don't know how to prepare tofu properly. Broccoli. I like how it tastes and it is so versatile for use in recipes. More a racist stereotype than people hating on it, but the thing that black people love fried chicken makes no sense. Who doesn't love fried chicken? Cilantro. It's like the herb version of the cool kid in high school that some people just can't stand. Tastes soap to some, but to the rest of us, it's the life of the flavor party. Brussels sprouts. They are awesome. Pineapple pizza, cottage cheese, beans on toast, boiled egg sandwich, olives, especially if they've been stuffed with garlic, they're so Moorish. What is a big animal you are 100% certain you can defeat in a fight with your bare hands? Your mom. Sorry. As long as I get to fight it on dry land, I'm sure I could whip a whale's ass. Not that I would, because whales are cool and shit, but I could. I could honestly take on a sloth. I mean, at my lightning fast pace, it wouldn't even see it coming. It would be the world's slowest duel. Giraffe. I know they've got strong feet, but I can be a real pain in the neck, and I think that's enough. Put me in a ROM against a panda and we shall see. One of those woolly mammoths that they occasionally dig up from the permafrost in Russia or Alaska. I can defeat any dead animal 100. Large tortoise. Obvious answer: a cow. Dip and stomp. Fox. A 10 grizzly bear, stuffed and mounted. A chihuahua. I call that big. Most dogs, from experience. A duck. Chickens, a single goose but not two. What is something you struggle with that is natural or easy for other people? Understanding people's intentions. I misunderstand what people mean a lot. Public speaking. I sweat, and have a panic attack before I have to do it. Even when I read I will have to do it later, it sets me off. Eating. I'm both lactose intolerant and gluten-free. Parallel parking. It's like my car suddenly transforms into a stubborn shopping cart with a will of its own. Remembering song lyrics. Even if I heard a song 100 times, I don't know more than 1 or 2 lines. Math. I have dyscalculia. I've developed my own tricks that work for me for basic math, but once my kids got to about the 4th grade I was useless to them for homework help if it was math. I'm a bad listener. My mind always drifts. Learning another language. I'm just terrible at it, yet many people speak 3 languages no problem. Life. What would you consider life-changing money? At this point $1,000 can change my life. I'm deep in the shitter. Like, never work again. Retire my parents' kinda money. 10-15 million, the slightest of differences in my life. 2 grand. A bag of 201-pound coins being smashed into your face at speed would be a life-changing amount of money. 100K is all you need if you're frugal like me. $1,000 would be life-hanging for me. Few million. $5. I'm pretty grumpy when I don't get my caffeine fix. 10K would put me back on the right track. Like, once you hit 9K I don't actually want to change my life, so for money to be life-changing, it would have to be a sum that requires me to change my life. $250,000 pays off the house and frees up lots on monthly income. What's going on right now that most people have no idea about? Bill in the US Senate to ban major corporations from buying homes. Forgive me if even I missed a detail. Hilarious how little coverage it's getting. They discovered a new antibiotic that kills MRSA. Lake Mead water levels are 20 feet higher than last year. The Ocean Cleanup Initiative has a new system to clean up an area the size of a football field every 5 seconds. The previous one extracted 282,787 kilograms of trash from the Pacific Ocean. So we're also working on interceptors for rivers that have collected over 840 tons of trash, and has a long way to go, but they have lots of support and they're making amazing progress. Okay, now back to the bad news. Smiley face. What's one myth about your profession you would like to debunk? That geology is just spout rocks. It's also about paleontology, paleoclimatology, Earth history, how life began, how our planet became what it is today, volcanoes, earthquakes, geophysics, mining, engineering and more. It's a great career sector and generally well paid. I'm an electrician and it's not only a pliers and a screwdriver we use all day. Software engineering requires no social or other soft skills. This is false between stand-ups, one-ones, retrospectives, agile ceremonies, etc. You need to know how to deal with people and communicate effectively to be good at the job. That office people just chat and drink coffee all day, whereas for some office jobs it might be true, it's definitely not true for mine. What's worse than being homeless? Being homeless and realizing the Wi-Fi signal outside the coffee shop is weaker than your life choices. Advanced state leprosy. Being homeless with hepatitis. Death row. Being locked up like the Fritzl victims. Concentration camp in North Korea. Pancreatic cancer. Multiple sclerosis. Being terminally ill. Homeless with kids. Being homeless once more. Nothing. It's a never-ending cycle of despair and uncertainty. Trust me, I've been there before. Being homeless with no fingers. Being in a Terry Schiavo situation. Being headless. Being sent to a concentration camp. Why? Are you gonna find out for us? Being born deaf and blind. Getting a letter saying you are going to be evicted from your house and realizing you will be homeless very soon. Losing a Rolls Royce after being homeless and getting one. Being stuck living with people that you hate. Not much. What's worse than being lonely? Being lonely in a room filled with people. Being lonely while being eaten by fire ants. Being terminally ill. Being homeless. Being dead. Being lonely while you are with someone, wishing you were. Being in a toxic relationship. The Holocaust. Being broke and lonely. Being lonely once more. Being lonely in your house, in the middle of the night, and suddenly hear a baby laughing. Insanity and suicidal. Being the owner of a broken heart, have company but feel lonely. Being physically abused, mentally abused by a so. Being too socially inept to even comprehend what it is you're doing wrong.